Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Donnie.
And I'm Nick. And today we're rambling about camping with Kory.
So that's us, Kory Renaud. Just want to welcome him. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. So Kory's a friend of ours, local birder, naturalist, and him and his family have also got a pretty neat little blog, YouTube channel, Camping Across Ontario. That's the right name?
Yep. Camping Across Ontario.
So we thought, with the way things have been last year, camping's really taken off, so much so we're having some issues with camping. So we thought we could have a chat about that, some of the discussion, even some of your trips, some of your recommendations.
Yep.
Anything comes to mind as far as camping, we'll touch on it hopefully.
And with your blog, do you do like national parks, provincial parks, or just provincial, just national, or just
it's all provincial actually.
All provincial.
We're trying to camp in every provincial park across Ontario. That's the goal.
How many?
There's there's in the 90s, but we're at like 30.
Okay, nice.
So
that's pretty good. And how long have you been doing that? How long have you been keeping track, or has this?
That's the thing. We have to start over now that we have kids. So we, my wife and I have been camping forever. Right. So we had a big list of campgrounds, but we basically had to start over when we started having kids. We were like, okay, let's see how many campsites we can hit with the kids, like as a family of 4. So we kind of had to start all over and hit those same sites that we'd been at before.
So is there any sort of like checklist of things that you have to do to hit them, or is it just if we go to that park and stay, that's
yeah, we have to stay at least one night.
Okay.
So day use, those parks don't count. We definitely try and hit day use parks too, but any of the campgrounds, both car camping as well as backcountry. So we're trying to hit everything.
Okay.
So it's gonna be fun.
What's the closest one you recommend to people?
For us, Wheatley is a great park. A lot of people don't realize, that we've got this gem that's not too far away. The beach is a little bit eroded in the last few years, but I think it'll come back as the lake levels come down. So there's a nice beach there, nice open use area, some good fishing around the area too.
Some good woods too, like hardwood forest. Very nice.
Great for riding bikes, things like that. So
absolutely,
it's a local gem.
Is it a busy park, or is it like? Do you think a lot of people know of it outside of Essex County or Chatham, Kent, or whatever, and then come to it, or do you think it's just like locals really?
I really think it's a lot of locals, a lot of repeat users of the park. I think it's starting to get known a little bit more now that people have been having challenges getting campsites further out, so they're kind of exploring a little further, and so Wheatley's starting to show up. But it's the closest park to us in this area, so it's.
So how'd you end up getting a campsite this year?
I was up like a lot of other people at 6 a.m. waiting for that rollover till 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock coming around. Just keep checking and refresh. Couple computers going.
Oh, that's crazy.
Refreshing the website.
And that's the common thing you hear with everyone who got a campsite. Computers, phones going everywhere. Everything. It's like it's insane.
It was definitely a challenging year for sure.
So just to highlight on it, that this year has become really hard to get camping. Some of the regulations as far as camping, which you probably touch on, but I'm sure there's some people watching here, just occasional campers, and think that they'll be able to, a week before they go away, or a couple of weeks when they know they've got vacation, or with lockdown measures, whatever's happening, trying to be more fluid. There's probably not much of a chance of getting a campsite this side of fall. Right?
No, not especially weekends. And that's like the big thing too. I noticed is like, so you can book, is it 28 days or 21 days? Consecutively?
20, I think it's 28, but it's in the 20s.
So like people can book basically every weekend throughout the summer, and then even if they only plan on going that one weekend, they can cancel 72 hours in advance and get your money back.
Yeah.
Which, like, how is that allowed? I don't know.
There's penalties, but the penalties aren't that strict.
Exactly.
And you've also said, I think it was you said that people are starting to sell them on Kijiji.
Yeah.
So if they're not going to cancel, all they're going to do, it's probably actually better. Again, I'm not condoning it, but it's going to be more profitable for them to turn around and say, well, I've got every weekend booked. It's a little side hustle.
Yeah,
right?
but it's like people are, it's so overly charged now. It's like, I don't know, how much is it to stay at Provincial Park right now? $300 roughly a week. Yeah, they have them on Kijiji for $1,000.
Crazy, eh?
So it's insane. It's just I can't say it's a scam, but
Well, it's taking advantage, right?
It's 100%. 100% what it is.
There's not really much they can do to stop it, to be honest. Like it's too bad. Really.
Yeah, it is. And like they got rid of like the first come first serve campsites for the most part. Like we do have the van conversion, so we're always last minute camping. That's like the whole beauty of the van, right? So it's like, oh, we want to check out this park. Oh, let's pull in and see if they have a campsite available. Oh no, you have to go use the app somewhere that has no cell service, which is always fun. So I always found, I don't know. Yeah. They're gonna have to figure out something because they've kind of ruined spontaneous camping.
Yeah, it's tough.
Probably part of it is a lot of these rules and things that are brought in well-meaning. No, genuine people don't, whenever they're making things like that, don't think, oh, it's going to get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Right. But then straight away, it is. Somebody finds a loophole, and then again, probably well-meaning people saying, oh, I should just book as much as I can, so because I don't know when I'm going to be able to take vacation. Yeah. And then this happens where they can cancel, and it snowballs into this sort of abuse of the regulations. Or
I think part of it too is because it's been in the news that you're not getting a campsite this year, so every's kind of if they were think about possibly going, they just got to book.
Right,
we're gonna book whatever we can get, even if we don't get vacation, we're gonna book it, and there'll be some cancellations that come up.
But it's like it kind of sucks. Like, well, even with COVID now, it's like we wanted to go to the East Coast. That was like kind of our plan this year, but it's like you can't book anything. You have no idea what tomorrow brings. Like for anything, the ferry's open, is the border's closed. You don't know. So it's like it's tough.
Traveling between regions,
that's it. And then there's the confusion of that kind of thing as well, right? People thinking they can do this or whatever, and then they're told, no, it's okay. I was told in Essex County by the police that they don't care about this here, and then as soon as you go, you're in Chatham now, and you get stopped or whatever, pulled over. Where are you going? No, so it's there's a lot of confusion with everything. So it's going to be a tough year. It's nice that, from my point of view, that more people are enjoying the outdoors. But whenever these things come along, it's kind of probably putting off some people because it's also become trendy to go camping. And we're talking about people wanting Instagram photos and that there, and like even my oldest daughter, last summer went with a few friends, never been camping, just they filled their car with a load of junk and went up to Algonquin, and it's half of them wanted to go home after the first day. It rained, a bit of water on them. They're all, oh, I hate this, I'm dying, and that was the attitude, So it's you've got. I'm not saying I really don't want to discourage anybody from enjoying the outdoors. It's good that people experience it, but if it comes at the cost of people who are genuinely wanting that's been their pastime for years, and they're now sort of getting pushed to the side of the road, either because of the expense, like we were talking about, even the prices, the backcountry camping. What's it, tripled in price?
Well, it's like
they're charging a flat rate now.
So if you're one person, it's the same as 4 people. So it's nuts. So it's like solo. People are going solo. You might as well stay in the park. It's like pretty well the same price.
Yes. Oh, some honkers.
So
so like the backcountry stuff, and I've had people speak to me about that and said, well, they're thinking about, well, I'll just go anyway and take a risk and not even pay for it, because they're saying that by the time if I do get caught, the fines, they're going, well, the amount they're going to charge me to go by myself now, the fines, if I get caught, the fine's only a little bit more than what it was going to be to stay there, So again, it almost makes people become crooked.
Break the rules, right? It's unfortunate because you're taking away somebody's site that's expecting to be able to pull in there.
Poor guy's been paddling all day, ready to get there. Bunch of people just partying there.
What do you do, right? Back country, it's not like you can just go and get in contact pretty easily with a warden and say, can you come and investigate this? No, you could be right in the back country with no accessibility, even if your phone did work. Having a warden close enough to do anything about it.
We actually got stopped last summer by a warden, which I was actually glad to see it, because we're legit campers. We had the proper permits for the lakes and everything, and they were checking, and he just said, okay, we got to check because there's been a lot of people that aren't paying and just kind of taking up sites that are technically already booked. So I'm glad they're checking, but they can't check everywhere.
Exactly. Some of these places, Algonquin, it's just massive, right? Some people don't even understand that.
Algonquin's the one that's like you want to avoid this summer. I think it's going to be insane.
Probably
insane.
Well, each season comes now, like the fall colours.
They close down the road.
That just turned people away from Highway 60 just because of
again,
just that's really born out of having nothing to do, and then whenever something like that comes along, it gets promoted a little bit more, saying, with nothing to do, why not go and see something in your backyard? And for people in Toronto, obviously we've got a bit more of a hike, but it's pretty accessible to Toronto, and there you've got only a couple of hours drive, and you're into some beautiful countryside. And again, not try to put people off it, and if people are experiencing, that's great. But these kind of areas were never set up for like literally a theme park. You know, it's
well, the Bruce Peninsula is a perfect example, right? Like 10 years ago, I used to go up there. You'd be the only one up there, and now it's like you have to book parking months in advance. Parking is nuts. Like when we went last summer, remember we had a hike in from Emmett Lake there, and it was like 2-hour hike in or whatever, hour hike in, and
then like we were wanting to go we were going to go for a hike. So
Yeah,
they said you couldn't get in. Then they said, "Well, we'll book a campsite." I said, "Oh, you just missed the last one." But that was going to be about the only thing we could have done, just to go for a hike. It wasn't even, we weren't really particularly interested in staying there. But
you just gave away our loophole.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
It would have almost. It was so close.
Yeah.
Once he says you can book it on. There's one online or whatever. So there was one online when we looked in the morning. And we said, we'll just go down, and if we can't get in, then we'll book that one.
Yeah.
But as soon as we got there, he says, no, there's no room in the parking lot. I said, okay, we're going to stay over. No, I just sold the last site, you know. So it's becoming harder to do that kind of thing. But again, Ontario's a massive place, so you just drive a little bit further,
exactly,
or hit some of the Crown land.
Yeah, you go up to like Temiskaming and like Temagami area.
There's amazing areas.
Like Lady Evelyn Smoothwater. It's beautiful up there. And then past Sudbury, like Superior, you don't see anybody.
Yeah.
It's
my only concern, there is a concern with that, is people that aren't prepared. You know,
absolutely.
That don't know anything about, just going out in the backcountry. You know, no rain gear. You know,
absolutely. You want
trying to carry
prepared.
A cooler full of beer.
That's just priorities: beer and their canoe, whatever. And they'll rent it, right? They don't even they don't have their own gear per se. The only thing they're interested in, we need a tent. Probably buy the tent on the way.
Yeah.
Never put it up before. Don't know what it's like.
Last year was like the perfect example of this story. We're doing the Sleeping Giant Provincial Park. And I forgot what the trail's called, like Top of the Giant or wherever the big gorge is. It's like 28 kilometers, I think. And we're just getting to the up section, and there's people, like this couple, like dying pretty well on the side with a Coleman barbecue with like the 1 pound propane tanks. That's their backpacking gear. I'm like, holy crap!
Oh, man.
And it's like I don't know. It all looks fun and easy on paper until you get going, and you're like, it's work. It's like backcountry camping is work without a doubt.
Definitely. I mean, that's part of what our blog and our channel is about, getting people to go out and explore nature, but being prepared and, making sure you're taking care of your site too. You know, a lot of people are just leaving this gear behind. We got a couple portages in, and we were seeing more gear just left at the side of the portage because they just couldn't carry it. Trying to carry big chairs and things like that. It's just, you get to a certain point and it's just garbage left on the side of the trail.
Yeah, and you realize pretty quick on like how little stuff you need to have fun.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't need the big chair to have fun by the fire. There's logs everywhere. It's like
pack light, pack smart.
Yeah.
Pack the right gear.
Yeah, and that's you have to be aware. It depends how long you're going away for, but some of these people, they're going overnight. Fair enough, they'll be able to survive that.
Yeah.
But like I said, these people are going backcountry or even sort of planning to be away, and they've driven. They're getting lost. They don't know what they're doing. We've got, obviously, they're all, especially younger people, and we're all relying on our gadgets.
Yeah.
You got to understand, half the time up there
they don't work.
They don't work, right? So you can be trying to rely on all you want. The only thing you need is that 3-word app or whatever it's called. Because that's the only thing that'll work, and you're going to have to phone for help.
Bruce Peninsula, right? A couple of months ago, someone got rescued.
Yeah.
I never really looked into the app. I kind of.
You still need cell service though for that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It basically, that app will just tell you other people your location, but you actually still have to have cell service to make that.
Instead of giving them coordinates? Like,
exactly. Yeah. They can figure out the coordinates based on those words.
Okay.
But you still need cell service. So a lot of people don't know that. You get off Highway 60 in Algonquin. You get a couple kilometers in. There's no cell service.
Exactly.
And it's crazy that you think you're in civilization still, and you don't have to go. Highway 60 is a major road, so but people just
they think it's like that everywhere.
Again, they think they're in Algonquin, right, sort of thing, and that's I've got, look at this here, full power, cell phone, all, and that's what they're stuck on. So then, next time we go up, we'll go in a little bit. Doesn't take long before
hill. You go down one hill. You can get spun around and out of cell service one hill.
Yeah.
And then you better kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. For as much as Algonquin's used, it really is probably only used 5 kilometers off Highway 60 for the majority of people.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So you go a bit further than that there,
Oh, it's
and you don't know what you're going to run into either. Again, the preparedness of what happens if you see a bear or even a moose. People think moose are beautiful looking animals. You hit them the wrong time of season, you're going to get some aggressive bulls. You're going to get
They're worse than bears.
Exactly. So
I think they are the most dangerous animal in Canada. Is that you?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh man.
Important. There we go. So you've got people who are just out there wanting to enjoy it, and you go, okay. Well, I guess some of them are sampling, some of them are seeing the Instagram pictures or whatever that there, and then that inspires them, which is great.
Fantastic.
But there has to be an element of preparedness, right?
Yeah.
There has
even like with the van life, that's blowing up like crazy lately, right? So it's like that last year was our first. I even hate to use the word van life because we don't live in it. So it's like, but it's pretty well, we're right in it. But like last year, it's like we're out driving these logging roads. You're like 30 kilometers in. That's a long hike out. You're like, that's a day hike.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, what happens if the wind blows a tree down? Like, what happens if we get a flat tire? It's like all these things that you never think of. So now we got the chainsaw just in case a tree falls down. Like,
but you're thinking about it. The other people, there's a lot of people that aren't thinking.
And there's
about
a lot
those
of people.
things,
We meet people out there. They're out in like a minivan, and like I'm like one rock, you're tearing your tire off. Hoping to at least change a tire.
Yeah.
Like, and you're far. No cell service, no nothing.
And then you see some of the, even if it's people buy nearly everything's an SUV now anyway.
Yeah.
But they're all built in car chassis.
Yeah.
So they're not true off-roading vehicles. So people are going, I can take. I've got whatever it is, and they'll go off-roading. Yeah, it's not really made for it's a city SUV. It's they've got big road tires on it. And
logging roads aren't highways.
No. There's actually an amazing Facebook group called there's a few of them up that way. Aurelia Off-Road Recovery. Are you part of that one?
No.
Oh, you gotta join it. So it's like awesome guys. It sounds like it. If you get stuck out in these logging roads or whatever, they'll come pull you out for free.
Oh, nice.
So it's like it's a good group to be part of, especially if you're out in those areas, right? But they post pictures of like people in like little Mazda SUVs, and they're buried up to the doors in mud, and like it's crazy what people try to get into. And they're lucky. Like Algonquin area is not patrolled area, but it's a pretty popular area. All those logging roads are driven pretty heavily. Yeah. You drive up to like Timmins, you might not ever get found. And like that's like people don't realize how many logging roads there is. There's millions of kilometers of logging roads. It's insane. Insane.
Yeah.
A lot of them are abandoned too.
It's
like
exactly.
Still accessible.
But
you could be the only car on that road for a long time.
Yeah, better bring a lot of dried food.
Everything.
But again, that is annoying. You got to be prepared for that kind of stuff. You don't want to think the worst all the time. But but also on the other hand, you don't want to become over prepared, where you're bringing so much gear for every eventuality.
Right.
You've got to
gotta be practical.
Put your feet in. Try it. Go to the campsites off of Highway 60. Stay a couple of days. Where it's accessible to go and get. If you don't have any food, you can go to Huntsville or whatever, or Whitney or whatever, one side or the other, and buy stuff. But experience. If you like it, then put a bit more money into it, a bit more time, effort. Start moving off a little bit, and it doesn't take long. A lot of people are into just buying gear as well, so they'll go to the store before they go and they'll just buy it and don't know how to use it. So it's you got to have gear, you got to be
prepared.
What's
wrong with the gear addiction?
I don't know.
I think we all have that.
That's it. It's good to have it, but you need to know how to use it or never use it. Open it out of the box. That's stinky. I might use that one day. Put it back in the drawer.
I got a lot of that.
Talk to the outfitters. There's a lot of experts out there that can get you set up.
Yeah.
Rent it. Try it out first.
Absolutely. That's like what I recommend too. It's like renting for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
If you're not sure you're gonna like it, try it first instead of
Yeah, it may seem slightly expensive to rent it, but it's a whole lot more expensive just to go and pour the money into it. You're never getting it back, right? No. Even if you use it once, you try to sell it on, people say not used and give you silly money. You would have been better renting, right?
I don't think I've ever even looked at a used tent.
No.
Kijiji. But find an old canvas one from the 70s. That'd be one that'd be kind of cool.
Get some retro camping. Carry this heavy canvas
backpack.
That's a huge tent, A-frame thing, right?
Oh man.
We're even talking about.
I collect that.
No, even talking about that. Talking about earlier, it was more work related, but things were easier back in the day. The amount of technology we have now and how things have advanced. You get lightweight stuff, you got better quality stuff. There's obviously still a lot of garbage out there. So unless you're spending a bit of money on stuff, you could end up getting some terrible stuff. But if you, over here, if you get some nice weather and it's not going to be inclement, You can have a cheapy tent.
Oh,
It's not.
yeah.
It's literally a roof over your head, just so the bugs don't get
Discount
you.
store, special.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So as much as you say it's good to buy gear and put good money in it, at the same time, you don't want to put people off from camping again, from saying that you have to have summer, spring, the end of the spring, into the summer here.
Yeah.
It's literally a mosquito sheet, right? Just to keep the bugs off you at night time and to tear some of the other wildlife from actually walking on top of you. But that's good to hear. Back home, every time I went to camp, it poured. Right? It didn't matter what the weather forecast said. You knew you were going to get soaked at some
rain
point.
jacket on inside the tent.
That's it. Yeah. Actually, I have had that a couple of times. One time, right with the kids, and it just absolutely poured so heavy, and there's puddles, and then started puddle coming through the tent, and it was going on to where the kids were sleeping, and that was okay for a minute. And then they get up onto the higher part with us, and it just eventually got that cold. And this was I think it was in this summer.
Yeah.
And it was just with the wind blowing, right? Just felt terrible. But nearly every weekend we would go away. We had a little trailer tent, and we'd pull it and have it pretty much pre-packed every week. And if we decided to leave on a Friday after I finished work, we did. It was easy.
That's perfect.
And that's what you want. Just something that you can make a snap decision.
Right.
We're sort of talking against that too with the way camping's gone here this year, but in general, you can't do that.
On
right?
a normal year, you could do that.
Absolutely.
Even like going to Point Peely with those Otentkins or whatever, Otentics.
Yeah.
That's a great little facility there.
Yeah.
Those things are
fantastic. We've rented them a few times.
Yeah, it's right on your doorstep.
Yeah.
Again, same thing. If you're just wanting to experience something, to see what things are like, that's like a yurt. They're pretty nice as far as compared to some
Glamping,
other.
for sure.
For some of the other ones. But you want to go away for a couple of nights. It's it's not overly expensive.
No.
it's pricey enough, but it's
Cheaper
for
than
something
buying the
fun.
gear.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
if you want a bit of a, say you went away and did something, and don't go too far.
And then that's a good way to kind of know if you like camping. Well, it's not really camping yet, but
It gives you that experience.
do you like to sit by a fire with bugs biting you?
Right, exactly.
That's it. That's like camping's not all like sunshine and rainbows.
No.
It's there's tough days
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And there's you gotta learn how to deal with the rainy days. That's what makes I remember the rainy days more than all the other days.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
I'll continue.
I was just gonna say, if you're prepared for those rainy days,
great.
you can enjoy them.
Yeah. Nobody's on the trail.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's nice whenever you're all set up and then it rains. The sound of rain on the tent's pretty soothing out there. And if you've got a good tent, you're not worried about the water coming through. It's great. And then typically, unless you've looked at the weather forecast and says now you're in for a week of that, that becomes kind of miserable.
It does.
But if it's just a one-off and you're going away for the next day and the sun dries your tent, and by the time you come back from your day's activities, everything's dried off.
Yeah.
You don't even remember.
Nope.
The rain is actually enjoyable then, right? You sort of say that was nice. Sitting at the tent, we had the campfire, and then it started raining, went to bed, and there we go. It was a nice evening.
Get some amazing sunset after a nice
yeah.
storm.
Well, exactly.
that comes through,
Exactly. Get those clouds and
Get some of the humidity away.
then it will be-
Summertime, you're like, come on, rain.
Yeah.
clear the air a bit.
Yeah.
That was one of the things we found when we came here. Started camping. We bought some gear when we moved over, and I think it was when we went in Ohio. We were doing some geocaching. There was a big event on, so we took the tent down there. But it was like 100 degrees plus humidity, and it was just brutal. Like you went to bed at because it got dark, whatever, about 10 o'clock. You're in the tent. It was pretty warm still, and then by 1, 2 in the morning, it was just boiling in there, and it was just sweating, and going, that's so our kids kind of got really tired of camping over here pretty quickly from that point of view. So anything what to do had to be early spring into the fall when the temperatures were dropping again.
Once you get up north, though, it is.
It's a whole different world up
Yeah,
there.
even the Bruce Peninsula, I love because the water off of Georgian Bay, or the wind off of Georgian Bay, it's air conditioning.
Right.
It's amazing. It's never hot. Well, it's hot, but you can be in the woods 100 meters and walk to that coast, and it drops 20 degrees. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to go camping now.
Have you got anything booked? You haven't booked anything?
No. We were thinking to do Gas Bay, which we're probably going to do, but we're probably going to do Crown Land and all that on the way up, and then definitely going to go to Superior again this fall. Other than that, winging it, Crown Land the whole summer again.
Yeah.
Worked out good last year, but we'll see.
Yeah, and even the amount of Crown Land spots that we went past when we went up the weekend, it's funny because you went up 2 weeks before, and there was nothing there, and then we went up 2 weeks later, and there was must be getting prepared for spots for hunting, and there's the trailer, like a 40-foot container pulled in, so
Caterpillar generator.
Oh wow!
Those guys were there.
Serious.
So they'd obviously set up now, and they were going to be there until whatever hunting season was over, whatever they were hunting for up there. But
Yeah.
like it was crazy. You said just from in 2 weeks' time, it went from being totally isolated. You wouldn't have thought anybody would have seen you to being like a commercial
Yeah.
Wow.
setup.
There's definitely some like known spots, like I Overlander there. Like if it's on I Overlander, you're not getting it on a busy weekend. There's
Right.
no way, never. There's even like it's gotten to the point now people will set up decoy tents.
Wow.
You'll be driving by and there'll be a decoy tent there, and you'll be like, it's been there all week, like nobody's even
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And somebody will just set up a tent there because they want it for the weekend coming.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's I mean, like I don't know, they can't really enforce that.
It's crazy that it's come to that, though. It's
It's
gonna be different.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, and it's like all these parks can't sustain it either. Like
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. It is like I said, even the Crown Lands. There's a couple of spots we went past, and people literally come in the spring and set up, and they're not moving. Right? No,
Yeah.
What's it's meant to be 21 days on a Crown Land spot,
Yeah.
but these people like remember the
Full
couple
trailers
of
with
fifth wheel.
docks and-
They had a dock. They had that one had a deck on the
Yeah.
front of it and a flower garden. No,
Yeah.
this is on the what side? Madawaska.
Yeah,
was it?
Madawaska area. I forgot what. It's where they. You ever hear the Naked and Afraid? That
Yes,
show.
yep.
It's filmed right at the Provincial Park across on the same lake we were on. I forgot what it's called, what lake it was though. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Nice area, beautiful area.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sandy lake. It was like nice sandy bottom. It was great. Oh, I can't stop thinking about camping now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's it.
man.
We're getting
We could talk about this all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah, and that's obviously we're still in the stage here where restrictions and things are going on, and hopefully there is an element where obviously the foreign travel is still going to be looks more like that we're still going to be restricted from doing anything outside of Canada. So
Right.
it looks like it will be another year of
least.
sort of people trying to do whatever they can locally
Yep.
to preserve their sanity, which is good, but hopefully everybody can find a bit of space
Yeah.
to do something and enjoy it. And
Plans change. People will be canceling things. You know,
Yep.
like there's always going to be something that comes up. And,
Yeah.
You know, keep checking. If you get a weekend free and you want to go somewhere, give it a look. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you may have to explore a little further than you're used to, but
yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's hopefully like it's like a shift. So we're down here and Toronto's here, and
Yeah.
the Toronto ones go further north, and we can just sort of still hang. I can't see it happening because of the population of
Yeah.
Toronto,
Yeah.
but it's a nice dream. So are you finding it easier now with your kids as they get older? Are they getting more into it?
yeah.
Like-
I mean, our kids have always loved being outdoors, but for us, it's because we live so far south. To get anywhere north is
Yeah.
a stretch, right?
Right.
It's, you know, you got to stop for breaks
Beautiful
and things.
401
and
drive.
It's a-
Yeah.
the long 401 drive, are we there yet?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that
classics,
kind of
yeah.
thing. But now it's getting a little more relaxed, so we can, enjoy it. We can do longer stretches now, and
Nice.
I think if all would have been normal this year, we would have been probably driving around Lake Superior Way, like all the way up through there.
Yeah.
Nice long drives, but it's just hard to plan that far in advance
Yeah.
right now. It's tough, but
Yeah.
we'll see. It's only another year, maybe.
Hopefully, yeah.
That's what they said. That's what they said.
That's
a year ago.
2 weeks, two more weeks. Eh?
I think it's 4 more weeks now, right?
So it's 4
Yeah.
from now. It's another 4, but it's it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like we're whining about it's not going to change
No.
anything from that
No.
point of view, but certainly
We can still get outside.
yeah, exactly. Whatever you're doing, like, the area we live in, we all enjoy spending time locally.
Right.
Yeah.
We're in another spot here that we spend time at as well. There's so many pockets of things we said in a couple of other podcasts. Just get outside and enjoy outside. It doesn't take like we haven't seen another person here.
No.
So even just to spend a few hours. If somebody want to come for a picnic here, on the beaches, whatever. There's lots of little beaches along the Essex coast.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
Go and
we live in
enjoy
a
it.
great spot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you like water,
Yeah.
that's for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, and that's
You have to.
Oh, yeah.
and that's it. There's we noticed last year, and it'll probably happen again this year. More people are going to be out on the water.
Right.
They're again with the restrictions. You don't know what they're going to do. I know a lot of people got annoyed because the school people weren't allowed on the water initially last year, which I don't think they'll do this year, just
Right.
because of how that went down last year. It didn't really help or promote any
Right.
illness. So I can't see that being as big an issue. But hopefully, people are responsible and get out and enjoy things and.
Yeah.
They really have to, right? No, it's like I personally believe in the mental health side of things of being outside in nature.
Definitely.
We are stuck inside more often now just because of how things are, regardless of whether we agree, disagree, argue about whatever the politics of the situation is. But getting out and doing something, I guess here it's important. and you don't have to know everything about everything you see. You know, just seeing things is nice. You know, seeing the change in the weather, seeing the change in the seasons.
Definitely.
It's no, hopefully mosquitoes don't take off soon. I'm starting to see some around.
I had one biting me yesterday.
And you had ticks as well yesterday as well,
yeah,
right? No.
Ticks are 2 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think ticks are here in the winter. You can probably get
Yeah.
them.
That's-
It's
I've
ridiculous.
I've had a few in the winter.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
not
worst.
pleasant, but well, I told you, I think if you're Atlantic, it's a new company. They're based from the Atlantic side of New Brunswick. I think it's New Brunswick. But anyway, they've got a spray out. They brought it out last year, so I bought some like a lemongrass spray, but it's meant to be a good repellent. So I've tried it once. I've not a tick on me, but I don't know if it would have had a tick on me if I hadn't had it.
Spray
So
one leg. And
that's
knock
it.
the
Well,
other.
yeah, it starts to
It's like
come
the
back.
soft comparison there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I'm hoping that works well, because again, I get put off a bit. You know, whenever you start getting into the clammy weather and it's really literally bug infested.
Right.
Like, I like taking photos of some of the bugs, but like just being covered in ticks and mosquitoes is not my idea of fun. You know, but it is, again, it's part of nature, right? You have to sort of battle through. But again, for us, most of it, it's the spring that we really enjoy the most. So it's pretty much before anything hits us, the in this area, you know, the wildlife and whatever coming through. The summer gets a bit clammy, and you can go and do other activities that sort of get the mosquitoes to go away from you. You're out in the kayak or whatever, you know, you don't seem to have the problem with them, that kind of thing. So except some of the biting flies then become. There's always something to tell
Oh,
you.
yeah.
But anyway,
So what's your favorite park?
Ooh. I mean, that's a tough one. Algonquin is just it's such a diverse park, and it's
Yeah.
accessible. Anything off, I mean, Highway 60 parks, all those campgrounds are nice, but I prefer the backcountry stuff.
Yeah.
But so the further in you can get, you know, maybe not in off Highway 60 if you're going off the sides. You know, Algonquin's still kind of my
Yeah.
go-to, but that could just be range. You know, it's only a 5-6 hour drive,
Right.
depending.
True.
You know, but you
But
know,
it
we've
does have
seen some-
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but we've been to some great parks. You know, we try and, you know, even the smaller parks, they have something to offer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at Crown Land, you might see something different. You know, there may be a species of snake that you or something you
Yeah.
can only find in that one little
Yeah.
area. You know, we try and hit. Whenever we go to a park, we try and hit the visitor centers, take in, you know, what we
See
can,
what it offers,
see
kind
what
of
it
thing.
offers, what the park has, you know, what the history is. You know, some of them have interesting stories.
Mhm.
You know, how it's been reclaimed, or you know, was completely destroyed and now they're bringing it back.
Right.
You know, it's there's some interesting stories out
Yeah.
there, but I mean, Algonquin, there's so much history there.
it's-
You know,
it's
when
wild.
the first park, and you know, it's just, it feels like home whenever
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
And it's like one thing I noticed too. I kind of years ago I was like, we did Algonquin so much. Let's drive another 6 hours north and see what you find. You're not missing out. Going any
Right.
further, it's like Algonquin's got it all,
yeah,
and if not more, it definitely has more. It's got the history. It's got all the protected wildlife. So
Right.
you're actually seeing some nice stuff. And
different habitats
Different
depending on
habitats,
where you
yeah.
are in the park. You
Yeah.
know, uplands, lowlands.
you ever canoe through Barron Canyon?
That's on our list. We were
Oh.
trying last year. Actually, that was what our plan was for last year, but we could not book.
I know, man.
It was so busy last year, we just could not make our route work
Yeah.
with.
I want to do
finding
that one
open
real bad because
spaces.
we went. I went a couple times last year, and I think it was with you.
Yeah.
We seen everyone canoeing underneath.
Yeah,
I was like, that'd be
that's awesome.
awesome. to
Yeah.
canoe through
Yeah.
the canyon.
We've done pretty much all the way around except for that one. That's definitely our hit list for
Yeah.
sure. But
Yeah.
I think we'll wait till things slow down a bit. and
Yeah, it's a
try and
popular
get through it.
spot.
Yeah, it's really popular because there's a lot of spots you can just hike in there too
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
check with the falls, which is
Yeah, what's that
supposedly amazing.
waterfall called? I've been
Oh.
there swimming before. It's got like the water slide.
High Falls.
High Falls, I think
yeah,
so,
High
right?
Falls, something like that.
It's got like a natural water slide.
Yeah,
yeah. It's
yeah.
like almost like ponds everywhere. Like
I can't think of the
it's-
name, but it might
I think,
be.
I don't remember. It's like 15 minutes further up the
Yeah.
road from Barron Canyon or something
Yeah.
like that.
Well,
looks amazing. But
Yeah, whenever we were taking even pictures, I know pictures never do those things justice,
No.
right? It's people will look at your picture and say, "Oh, that's awesome." That looks fantastic." Yeah, it really does not
Yeah.
do it any justice until
It's
you're
hard
there.
to scale a picture.
Yeah, it really
Definitely.
is. Like when you're standing on top of that canyon looking down, somebody, and the same thing if they're down there, like all they're seeing is cliff face looking up.
Yeah.
They can't even probably pick you out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And it's just,
yeah,
it's stunning.
totally different perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's pretty good. So talking gear wise, you invested in a bigger trailer. So you went from regular tent, then a pop up, and now you're into a bigger trailer.
Yeah, so we do both front country, so car camping, as well as backcountry. car camping is more shorter stays usually, so we wanted something. The pop-up was great, it was a nice lightweight thing, easy to tow, but we're finding that set up and tear down, because when we're doing our front country sites, we're trying to hit like 2 or 3 or 4 parks in a week,
right.
just to see spread out as much space as we can and see as many sites. So we're finding that the put up and take down was just cutting into our time to explore the actual park. So we upgraded a little bit to it's still a small travel trailer, but it's basically, we're going to have it ready to go. We just basically pull in and we're set up within 15 minutes kind of thing. Nice. So for us, it's more just a convenience. Kids get their own little bunk space. It's a little bit more luxury than we're used to, but we're going to balance it. We're going to balance that out, with the back. We'll bring our canoe with us anytime we go. So still be able to do that, which is great. But then we go into the backcountry. We've got that total opposite end of the spectrum where we're packing light, packing our own gear,
basically surviving.
Yeah, exactly. So we get best of both worlds that way, because we have to hit all the parks if we want to meet our goal. So
is there like a timeline for that? Is it just
as long it's probably going to depend on the kids if they'll keep coming with us. Once they start breaking off, it's going to be a little trickier. But I mean, it'll take us a long time.
What's like the least accessible one?
There's a lot that you have to fly into.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
nice.
Which I'm really looking forward to.
That'd be cool.
There's
like along Hudson Bay kind of.
Yeah, like Mississinavi, and there's so many rivers.
Nice. I've always wanted to do like the Arctic Shed and stuff up there. It looks unreal.
Yeah, I've spent some time on James Bay coast, and it's just unreal. Like I was lucky to spend about almost 2 weeks up there, just in a remote cabin. Just a little, basically shack, and it was just it's
perfect.
Incredible.
But you've got to experience that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
No,
I can't even explain.
Yeah,
it.
Exactly.
No. Anything I say just will not be the same as me being, or as you being.
It's like the two things you gotta experience. It's like probably that. I haven't done that yet. Yeah. But then like the stars at night. It's like how many people haven't seen that is insane. Yeah. It's like you go lay under the stars at night. It's insane. It's
they're coming to meet you.
Yeah, right? It's crazy.
I woke up in the middle of the night one night and I was just like, oh man, it's hot in here, because we had a little wood stove going. I'm like, I gotta get some air. I look up, I'm like, whoa, Northern Lights. I'm like,
oh, that's crazy.
But they weren't super bright, so don't worry.
Oh man.
But it was just like, wow, it just happened to get up at the right time.
Oh, that's perfect, eh? But
there's so many awesome surprises with camping too. It's like it's almost pure luck. You'll just be driving or hiking, and you look one way, oh, moose. It's like you're so focused looking that way, and it's like you just that way, and it's, I don't know. Like Northern Lights.
That's what I love about camping. Yeah. You never know what you're gonna get. You can't control the weather. No. You can't can't control the bugs.
Yeah.
You just got to go with it and take it as an experience.
Yeah. And that's everyone is a unique experience, right? You can't replicate it, even though people do tours and things to get out there, and it's pretty much exactly the same each time the tour happens. But I guarantee if you ask the tour guide, he goes, well, I don't know what we're going to. Yes, I know the schedule of what we're going to do, but as far as dictating the weather or what the wildlife is, or what's happening around you, that's always going to change. That's out of your control, and that's where the uniqueness comes from. That's where the stories come from. That's where the fond memories are made whenever the unexpected happens. So tour guides can only take you to so much and show you so much. Everything else is just naturally happening, and you just take it in for what it is, and that's where always been for me, where the memories are created.
Absolutely.
Right? No, remember whenever I was going to Newfoundland, you were telling me about different spots, and you said about Cape St. Mary's and that, and although you explained, you need to go there. When I went there, it's like, that's mind blowing, right? No, you just go there and it stinks, fair enough.
Yeah,
but no,
it could be really bad for somebody.
But other than that, it was just like watching the gannets and that, they're all the other seabirds. It's it's a different world, right? And saying to people, a lot of people say, oh, when you go to Newfoundland, it's it's fantastic, it's not there. But my experience is going to be different to yours, and you'll enjoy it in a different way. I can't see you going anywhere and not enjoying it, or not having fond memories, regardless of, unless something really bad happens, which you wouldn't wish on anybody. But no, in general, as long as you go and you sort of your time is as expected, your experience is totally different and your memories created, and it's being there and in the moment that's created. It's not any schedule, any timetable of events that are gonna create that for you. But Canada's just got so much to offer, right?
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Ontario.
Well, exactly, even Ontario.
Last year, we were kind of bummed out. We're like, because we wanted to go to the Tetons and Yellowstone. We're like, we got to kind of stay in Ontario, right? But Didn't regret it at all. No. Once because every time I go out west or whatever, I've always just driven by Lake Superior. Never enjoyed it really. Right? Incredible. I was blown away. It's amazing out there. Ontario is so big. It's
I wonder if anybody's ever made it their mission to go to every lake in Ontario.
Oh man,
impossable.
There's a lot of unnamed lakes.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
There's
ones being created each year and disappearing.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would be crazy.
What was it that decided if it was a lake again? It was something to do with photosynthesis of the.
Oh, why a lake is a lake?
Yeah.
It's a depth.
The depth of the sunlight reaches, right?
Where the sunlight doesn't hit. If sunlight doesn't hit the bottom, it's a lake. But I think the sunlight probably hits the bottom of Lake Erie close enough. It's
or Lake St. Clair for sure.
Lake St. Clair, that's what it was. Yes. So when we looked into it,
so it's technically Pond St. Clair.
Yeah, it can't even be officially a lake.
Yeah.
And then Superior isn't technically a lake; it's an inland sea.
Yeah.
Right. So it's so big. Right. They're saying technicalities. Right. So.
It's always weird. You're up north, you'll be at a lake the size of this little pond here. You're like, how is this a lake? And then you look at the depth, they're 250 feet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's how does that make sense? It's nuts.
And you can almost see down that way.
It's something so clear, and you just have no conception of how deep they are.
Yeah.
But that's part of my goal is I just want to go to all the provinces to say I've been to them all, just in general, and the territories. I don't really have to be there. Well, that I would like to do sort of a trip in each one.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as exploring, you don't have to leave Ontario. Your smaller trips and that there, or whatever. Even some of the bigger ones, say you go up to Hudson Bay and things like that. There, we start going up the Arctic areas. They're proper trips you're going on. But it's phenomenal what's to offer. And that's what I kind of like about what COVID's done in a way. Now, before it was so easy for everybody to go south, right? Everybody went to the States because it was so cheap.
Definitely.
The flights were cheap. The vacations there are cheaper. Eating out, the whole experience is cheaper, and always has been sort of a bit more expensive. You get deals in Canada to go out west and things like that there, but for you to book and plan something, it was always a bit more expensive. So that it put people off.
Definitely.
It's kind of like you would like to think that the federal government or whatever would give some a tourist rebate if you spend your tax dollars on tourism in Canada. There's a rebate, part of your taxes at the end of the year.
Right.
It'd be good if there's a rebate just to encourage tourism, and it's taken off. You've seen it in the last year. People are out and enjoying it because they have to. But they're still enjoying it. They're not turning around and saying, "Oh, this sucks. I have to go on vacation in Algonquin or have to." So again, people are maybe even going out west. Some of the other provinces because they're able to.
Mm-hmm.
They're out there and they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Possibly with COVID, I don't know what the prices and things have gone like. I've been people trying to be a bit more competitive to try and then just to get the business, but still, people are out there. There's still a lot of people who are affluent enough to have money to spend during COVID, and they've done so. So again, I hope that spurs on a generation of people who really do want to start to visit and tour around Ontario, especially, but then the other provinces. So keep your tourism local. No, I'm obviously not local from here, but it's still
Texas, right?
Texas. well, that's the way we were when we were up in the middle of nowhere. These kids their canoe snapped in two, or whatever the heck. They had hit some water.
Rapids.
So this there was 10 of them maybe. So they carried their canoe somewhere, and they're asking, how far is it from a road? Well, it's not too far. And so I was talking to him. He goes, whoa. And this guy just keeps looking at me, and he goes, I reckon, are you in the movies? I mean, yeah, not all of them, but. And he's going, oh, I knew it. And he goes, you're from Texas, right? I mean, no, Northern Ireland. He goes, oh, that was my second guess. Oh, yeah. I go, okay. But so I kind of left him thinking that there's a possibility that I was a movie star. And you see him going away talking to his buddies, and he's kind of going,
we just left him in the woods. We're like, see you later.
So those guys stunk, eh?
Oh, yeah.
They were back
country.
They
were in there for a while. For sure.
They were talking about as if they were getting airlifted and things. What was his head? What was the word he was using?
It was
like he watched an action movie and just started spouting off stuff he had heard in films.
Like Extracted.
Yeah, we're getting an extraction.
We're getting Extracted T- whatever.
Okay.
Well, the Chinooks are coming in.
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, so like I said, the tourism here locally, I promote. If you live in Essex County, most of the people who watch our podcast in Essex County, go and enjoy it. And then with you saying the same thing, that you're promoting it, we'll put a link in the show notes of your blog there. Just showing people that there's so much to enjoy. There's go and enjoy locally. And it's relatively inexpensive. We'll not say it's cheap or whatever to do. It's when you compare it to other things. But even if you sort of think, well, it's inexpensive, but I'd rather go and sit on a 5-star thing in Mexico, you're not really going to be able to talk people out of that, right? If that's what they like, yes, it's not that, right? So, but there's definitely a segment of people who just need to experience it to see if they like it or not, and then you'll find that there's definitely.
I think like maybe this year will be the last kind of summer of huge growth in camping,
right?
And then I think either people people either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like maybe next year it'll die down. Who knows? But
well, it was funny even like last year. It's still even hard now to get canoes, kayaks, and other outdoor sports equipment. But at the end of like fall last year, so many kayaks for sale and all the Kijiji and that there, canoes for sale. People and then like some of the excuses were, I've tried it, but I've got nowhere to store it, right? So all these people, apartment dwellers, right? Bought this stuff and now they've used it a couple of times. And I didn't think about the size of this thing. Where am I going to put it? So, if you wanted to, you could have picked up some cheap equipment for those kind of activities. But in general, it's still your tents and things like that. There, stuff you need, the basic stuff you need to enjoy camping. It's easy to get. That's one thing locally I've always sort of been disappointed that there really isn't outfitters. Now I know there's not really the parks not there to sustain it, but you'd still think that a lot of people in this area still enjoy outdoors things and go. You think like no.
They've tried a few. Like they had Atmosphere. Remember that?
Yeah.
Where's that?
It was in Sport Check. They basically
like a section.
I think they had Eureka and Marmot tents and like all high end stuff up there. But I don't know. It's like we said. Like you gotta drive 6 hours to get anywhere you need any of that gear.
Yeah.
Essentially, right?
Well, that's it. They're not going to have a roaring trade, right? The trade's not going to be there to like really sustain. But you think if it was like a segment of one of the bigger department stores or whatever, that they could still sustain it, or at least have some like almost like remember the IKEA where it was a catalog shop. You went in and had some stuff for sale there, but they had their catalog and you ordered it and it got delivered to either you or the store.
Right.
Just somewhere because I think when you just get your hands on some of this stuff, it's cool. You can start to appreciate it and enjoy it, and it that like. Just going into like the likes of Cabela's or whatever, it's just a fun store to go into and start, playing with some of the gadgets and gizmos that lying around, and and talking to you about the stuff. It kind of inspires you a little bit there. And something again, you go into these places and they've got some experts, and you can talk to them, and they start. It's easier to go in somewhere that has them than going in and buying an odd thing in Sport Check and asking them about camping, and they go like, I can tell you about the next pair of Nikes coming out.
Exactly.
There was one store that I'm kind of disappointed it closed that I didn't realize existed until only like a couple years ago. The Scout store.
Oh, that was behind them all.
They had all Eureka. They sold Eureka tents, amazing sleeping bags, sleeping pads, everything high end. Groman knives, like awesome. Had everything I liked. But I found it like
as it closed
a month before it closed. I was like,
How long had that been there for? Because I remember just a couple of times whenever I was working, I had to go there and I seen it. And but was it like a long stay in store?
When I was a kid. I remember you had to get. Well, I was in Scouts when I was a kid. You can get the little wood car. You know.
Oh yeah.
Talking about? I think you had to go there to get it.
Oh really?
Yeah. I don't remember if it was there or somewhere else. I was too young to remember. But
you had to go to a Scout shop.
I remember that.
Yeah. So that's why I sort of like because. As much as you can go on, and it's obviously too easy now. Like Amazon and that there, you start clicking on things, right? And next thing stuff arrives.
Right.
But you don't really know what it's like. There is something to be said about going into a store, bricks and mortar, and seeing things, touching them, And,
I did the whole. I ended up. I have like probably 20 camp pillows right now, trying to find like
find the best one.
The best one. I've got it pretty narrowed down now. I got like the. Oh crap. Continue talking. I gotta remember the name now.
Well, I was just gonna say you might have all these pillows, but whenever in the van you got the luxury pillows. I'm sure.
I don't need it in the van. I got the nice one in the van. What is the company? They make my sleeping bags and drive me. Nemo.
Nemo. Really?
Yeah, Nemo.
Nemo.
So it's like an inflatable pillow, but it's got like a little strip of memory foam.
Oh,
so
nice.
it compacts like the size of like a pop bottle pretty well.
Yeah.
Or not like a pop can.
Yeah.
And then it goes like full size pillow. It's not like how you sleep on like an inflatable one. It's like just makes noises.
Right.
Sounds like you're sleeping on a balloon.
Yeah.
Doesn't have that feel. So I'm like, this is perfect. And you can adjust it.
Adjust it. It's got adjustments as well.
Yeah, like for just firmness and.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's my Nemo. You can sponsor the podcast.
Yeah. So Nemo, if you're listening, Nick doesn't need one. I haven't got one. You might want to send
I don't
one.
have one yet.
Yeah, Kory wants
highly
one.
Recommended. Yeah.
So that's how much are these things?
They make 3 different sizes, I believe. They had like a small one that was pretty small. I got like just the regular, and then they have like an extra large. I think they're like I think I paid like $60 or something. But I have like a whole thing full of like Thermarest pillows. I got so many different pillows, and I don't
This
know.
is the one.
Sleep is important.
Yeah, it is.
You need to get a good night's sleep
Yeah.
and you feel so much better. Well, and it depends. A lot of times, like, even when we go, part of it you're running on adrenaline.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So it's you don't really care about the sleep
Until you just die.
But exactly, you at some point it just feels like, wow, somebody's just beat me up.
Yeah.
It's brutal. But yeah. So if you are getting good rest when you are resting, it makes a world of difference. So, every time you're getting up, you're kind of refreshed. Nothing seems daunting. Sometimes that you wake up and you go, either getting up for sunrise or going out. We've got another 10K walk here planned to go and see something. You go, I don't know if I want to do it. So if you haven't got a good night's sleep, and
you feel it the next day for sure.
Like whenever we went to Algonquin, I felt it every day there.
I was like, I was comfy. I enjoyed it.
You were feeling great about yourself. Only reason I woke up because it was freezing, not because it was a good night's rest.
Or the mouse.
Well, then we had the mouse. That was and the fallen went up where was the road? I can't remember whatever road. But we thought there was a mouse, but we'd stayed in a different site, like nowhere near each other. And we were sure. You were sure you were going to wake me, or you did wake me.
I heard
the first
like
night.
the walls in the van are insulated, but there's like a little space that like a mouse could run. And all I heard like once was like just a little like quick, and I was like, okay, that was weird. But I was like, maybe it's outside of the van, right? Didn't think anything of it. Then the next day, I don't even know what happened. It was like mice everywhere.
Oh, no.
It was like at first we thought it was just the one mouse. I forgot how we found the one.
Well, there was one. You were sitting at the fire and you heard it from the fire.
Yeah.
And went over, got the light in, and we could see like a mouse running about on the floor of the van. Like we had left the doors open and things. Like weren't thinking because the van's high enough up that you're going. It's not a problem. So you got onto one, and then it went onto the driver's seat. So you went around the front and said, you keep an eye on us. I'm looking from one side, trying to get. So he sees it in the driver's, opens the door, and she has it, and it run up behind wires and
like in the
dashboard.
Oh, no.
And but then I see a mouse coming out. I mean, it's okay. It's come out this way. And then I'm going, I think it's a different mouse. It's not even the same mouse. And so we assumed it ran out, and then we seen one. It went along up the tire, and then onto the bumper at the back, and then disappeared into like a little hole.
Oh,
so
man.
we weren't sure if it went back into the van. But then we're looking at the ground, and there's another one on the ground.
Yeah, you shine your light around, his little eyes
It's everywhere.
Like,
And there's like a tree about this. There's a hole in the side of it. And just ran up in the tree. So we're looking in the hole, and there's one in the hole. But then we look around, the one's back on the bumper. It's like a pure invasion. And at the end, we thought we'd got them all out, and we closed the door.
We had like trail mix on the end of the bumper and got them all out. Put the trail mix in the tree. We're like, okay, there's 2 mice in the tree and a mouse over there. I think we're good.
Yeah.
I even put like a piece of food in the van in the middle of the floor as a trap. The hope that it would go for it, and we knew it like just be okay, there's a mouse in the van. Didn't see that. So yeah, we go to bed. It's like 4:30 in the morning,
about that.
and Donnie's like, Nick, I'm just snoring away, and there's a mouse in the M&M bag, like right beside his head.
Literally, because I lay on the floor, right beside. But what amazed me was like it bit a hole in the M&M bag about that size, so it had to be there for quite a while before I got on this thing. And then I got up, so I get up and I'm then convinced I'm not going back to sleep with the mouse lying beside my head. The next one, are we going back to sleep now? No, I'm not going back to sleep. Him lying up in the bed, and I'm going, I'm just going to lie on the floor and let the mouse.
Yeah.
So I think we got up and just left, right? We packed up, cleaned up the campsite, and with them we couldn't see it. So that was the day we were coming home anyway.
Yeah.
And then you set up traps. Paige went and bought traps, and we came back. And you never caught a mouse.
I never caught one. So I don't know. They must have just bailed out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They I don't know. That was an odd mouse situation though.
So I'm not sure that we were carrying mice around with us, or if they were just this area. There's quite a lot of mice
Stopped
around.
in the right spot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You have any wildlife encounters out there?
I have a few mice stories. Yeah. Actually, when I was on the coast of James Bay, it was kind of like that. It was first get into this cabin. It's just like a shack. It was like a plywood shack in the middle of nowhere, and there was some rusty beds and stuff, and some really dirty mattresses. But it was like, whatever. It's a place to sleep. We had sleeping bags. Put the sleeping bag down, and all of a sudden you hear thump, 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 thump. They're running all over the place in the cabin. You turn your light on, and everything stops. And I had. It was a little bit colder than I was expecting. It was like the temperatures are going all over the place. It was kind of interesting. I was like, I was a little bit cold, but I had like an emergency blanket, so like one of those really
Silver foil ones,
plasticky, the Mylar blanket. So I threw that on top of my. That was a bad idea. I was all of a sudden here. So you knew they're on top of you all night long. I was like, by the end of like the week and a half, I was just like,
your dad, you just got used to them. Come on, buddy. Come on in. Well, I don't. Do you know anybody's ever had like a real like scary encounter with any like wildlife?
No.
My scariest was actually in Newfoundland with a moose. It was we were actually on a guided trip in the Gros Morne up in the Long Range Traverse. So we were hiking around, and actually that was an amazing trip on its own. But we're on our last night, and we were at this lake just in the middle of nowhere, like just kind of in between Gros Morne Mountain and. We park in kind of for the night, and we're just listening. We could hear a moose like kind of rumbling around. We saw tracks all day, and then so we're looking out of the tent, and my wife gets out and shining a light, and we can kind of see like a little figure off in the distance, and we just raised our light. All of a sudden, this moose picks its head up, looks at the light, and it goes. And it started charging at us. We're like, whoa! Turn the light down, and it stopped. And we're like. Okay, was that a coincidence or what? Put the light back on and it charged again. And we're like, okay, that's enough.
No more lights.
Like, we went back to bed and we're like, man, is this thing gonna trample us? Because it actually came over and was like going around our tent like all night long. And it was just like, I wasn't sleeping that night because I'm like one footprint of that thing.
Oh yeah, it was next time whenever we were up there and trying to follow the moose. Like we were up there waist and snow, and these things were just walking through as if it was, and they hadn't even bottomed out. So just like they're phenomenal beasts. Those are But you got any stories of anybody who's ever had?
No. Like the only issue, like not even it was my own issue that I created. Like that's how you almost always is.
Yeah.
So I was like photographing bears in Temagami, and then the mom bear came down the hill in front of me, and then the baby bear came down the hill behind me. And
so you're
that's not good. Yeah.
And then that was the only issue I've ever had. Like everything else is like. They are like animals are kind of predictable,
right?
Like for the most part,
right.
Like you know when they're pissed off, and you give them space. But like that was a position I shouldn't have put myself in, and it happened, and that could have happened. That was the only issue really I've ever had.
Yeah, as long as you don't get between mama and the cubs, you're usually okay with black bears. But
I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't know.
No,
I've never heard like I don't know other than people's coolers, even like I don't know, but that's like your own issue too.
Right, if you leave your cooler or whatever.
Food.
Yeah, we stayed in one of the campgrounds in Algonquin. Actually, there were the rangers were actually coming around. We were in one of the car campgrounds at Rock Lake, I think it was, and people were leaving their coolers out and everything. It's blackberry territory, right? And they were coming around. We're like, we're gonna ticket you if you don't put your stuff away. We're gonna ticket you. Some guy had like a fridge, like a little mini fridge up on top of the picnic table. I'm like, what is this? This is interesting. Sure enough, he didn't put his stuff away, and of course a bear came through in the middle of the night. And he's banging pots. And I'm just like, put your food away.
He was just wanting the authentic bear experience, the Yogi bear coming to see this picnic. But it was, it's kind of interesting because the rangers were educating people. Right. Again, that's one of the important things, right? You learn through experience as well, so it's good for people to experience it. Some people, unfortunately, they'll get a bit closer than what they should have done, and the experience is really bad. But in general, most of them are just like a good shock to the system, right? And it's kind of put you.
Yeah, knock on wood here.
Exactly. Plenty of that.
Season's just starting.
Well, I think when the birds are starting to wake up now, right up north, they're starting to really thaw.
Get hungry.
Yeah, haven't eaten for a while, so plenty of sandwiches and.
That's the
garbage at the dumps, right?
The one thing that I haven't been able to figure out yet. So it's like in the van, with a tent, you would never sleep with your cooler beside your head.
Right.
Oh man.
So the van, you sleep with the cooler beside your head, with the windows down, with the screens in it, right?
Yeah.
No different than a trailer or an RV. And I'm like, you never read it. Like, how's a bear know? Hey, I'm not gonna mess with the RV or the trailer.
As long as the door's locked.
Yeah. Is that it?
I'll just hear the handles. But I think I've seen videos where a bear has went and just went for the handles. No, the learned behaviour.
Yeah.
That'll be funny. But what was I going to say about joking about the garbage dumps? It'll be interesting how that affects them this year because people haven't been to their cottages.
Yeah.
The garbage dumps are and that's really for a lot of them is a main source of food.
I never thought of that too.
Like it just came to me there.
Yeah,
It hasn't something I've been dwelling on, but no, just thinking like they're really like that will affect bears a big way. No,
Make sure you take care of your sites.
Yeah, but it'll be a positive as far as hopefully getting them back into their normal kind of eating habits. But they're used to that. That's like they literally go and camp out at garbage dumps. So like it may become an issue with campsites in this year that the bears are having to scavenge a bit more. So definitely something to watch out for is keep your food safe and away and locked up out of the way. And if you've got to put it up in trees, do it. But because I could see that definitely being an issue. And then they were saying even Algonquin this year, even the wolves are becoming more of an issue because not as many people were there and they were becoming a bit more active.
And people are feeding the one.
That one of the.
Forgot the trail name. Centennial.
No.
Centennial.
That's a long one.
Yeah, it'd be Centennial. Yeah, I think so. Right at the parking lot there.
Yeah, right. They were saying there's signs up saying stop feeding the wolf.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. What's
GoPro
that one?
died.
GoPro died.
Other camera's still good.
Oh, we're still good?
Rolling.
Oh, yeah. Nick got. We're at an hour. We better wrap it up soon. Yeah. Nick got some new technology because did you know that cameras can only do 29 minutes and 59 seconds?
I heard that.
So, did we say that in another podcast about why that happens?
The one with Glenn, but it hasn't been aired yet.
Oh, it hasn't been aired. So we don't want to ruin that. Is that on it?
I think it's this week, right?
Yeah, it's this week, but I'm not sure. Did we talk about
maybe we didn't talk about it on the podcast.
Well,
we can talk about it again.
Yeah,
it's interesting. It is.
So the cameras have always only done 29, 59 seconds because when they used to import regular cameras into Europe, there was a higher tax if it was a video camera. So they put a legislation saying a video camera is anything that records for 30 minutes or longer.
Wow.
So it was all, and that tax no longer applies, but no camera company has ever since changed it to make it.
Sony's the only one. And
okay.
I think that our R5 released a firmware update after the R5 was already released.
Okay.
So it's crazy. Because I was like, we kind of got set up for this. I was like, oh, this camera's like 15 years newer than the last one I did video on. Yeah. So I'm like, they had to fix the 2959 issue. No.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, so we always just thought it was an issue that whatever, just the technology, they didn't want to put it in, and they all sell camcorders and things like that there. But it was literally a tax reason.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow.
But that was just a tidbit of information. So
fun fact of the day.
There you go. Yeah. Learn something.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. It's educational for everybody. So anything else you want to add to any of your camping
get
stuff?
Out and enjoy. Leave no trace. Pick up your stuff. Enjoy it. Experience it. You just go with the flow. And that's about it, really.
Lots to enjoy.
That's good.
Yeah. How come it gets so cold?
Yeah, it's getting chilly quick.
That's usually our signal. Oh, it's time to wrap up.
I'm usually always freezing. Yeah. This is the nicest one yet.
I did have a mosquito on me, by the
way.
Oh,
did you? I thought I had one flying around, but I wasn't totally sure. I didn't want to waste too much time looking at it. I thought like a spider dropping down on me. But as you can see, we're in another beautiful location here. Yeah. Kory says this used to be a streetcar or
Apparently
tram.
it was a tram. That's the story I've heard about it.
So it looks like the wheel fell off on this side, and it's
we'll get it running though.
Yeah, I can still life in the old
girl. It'll buff out.
That's it. So anyway, appreciate you coming and having a chat with us.
Thanks for having me.
It's it's been good, and so hopefully we'll get information off you. I'm going to put that in the show notes for your own blog. Would you call it blog? What do you call it? YouTube channel?
We've got a blog and a YouTube channel.
Okay, so if you send us the links, we'll put them in. Yeah. But like I said, that's really appreciate the time, and hopefully whoever watches this enjoys it too. So I guess it's a good night from Nick.
A good night from Donnie.
That's good night.
And good night from Kory, I guess.
Right.